Well, hi YouTubers. Okay, book 6, I double checked, of the 365-100, and this is a hardback. I thought I'd tackle hardback this time. Lucy Diamond, The Secrets of Happiness. Now, Lucy Diamond is not her real name, it's a pen name. It isn't just the best one ever. Honestly, I love that. You can't say Lucy Diamond without smiling. It's such a cool pen name. Now, obviously, I'd never ever have a pen name. Obviously, fortunately, it's on Twitter. You can see why. I mean, yes, it is my real name, and isn't it cool? But anyway, Lucy Diamond. And I love Lucy Diamond's books. Honestly, I've read them all, apart from, because up there, The House of New Beginnings, paperback. I'll get to that eventually, but I've got a lot of books there. So, but anyway, I tackled this, and this is a really interesting story. It's a story of two stepsisters, Rachel and Rebecca, or Becca. And, very, very interesting. This is a love story between siblings. And, okay, I'm going to kick off right now. Essentially, these two strange stepsisters hardly see each other, don't really have a relationship. But then Rachel was mugged, and she's abandoned, like in Manchester. And then Becca steps in and basically takes over her life, takes care of her children, tries to keep her business going, even though she's got no idea what she's doing. She's trying to figure out her life. There's a bit of an age gap between the sisters as well. Rachel's several years older than Rebecca, and Rachel's horrible. Rachel is nasty. Now, very, very few authors can take a nasty, obnoxious character who, throughout the book, you kind of see their mentality and how they got to this way. And, you know, but she is so goddamn unlikable. She's ungrateful, she's stroppy, she has thrown every single bit of love her stepmother, Wendy, who's lovely, and her stepsister, love, straight back in their faces. She is horrible. She is basically spent her entire life dismissing her own stepsister because she exists. Now, Becca was very, very young when Rachel's father met Wendy, obviously her stepmother, so she hasn't known any different. To her, she's only ever had one father who just loved her unconditionally as a daughter. But Rachel has thrown everything back. She basically said to her stepmother as a teenager, my real mother would let me wear makeup because you're so bourgeoisie, because you won't let me. She has thrown that love back. On her wedding day to Lawrence, Rachel wouldn't let Rebecca be a bridesmaid. She's so dismissive of her own sister. She looks down on her. She's patronising. She's selfish. And you can kind of get to where she is. And very, very few authors can make you actually like an unlikable character. I mean, there's one bit in this book where after Rebecca's basically taken over her life, taken care of 3 of her children, and with someone who's never spent a lot of time around children, Becca does a great job. There's one incident where the younger son has an allergic reaction to peanuts because he didn't know. They get it all sorted, they get a nappy pen, they take him to a casualty, it's all sorted out, but the look on Rachel's face is, you know, how dare you, but she didn't know. You know, she takes the whole kind of world for granted, and she will look for any reason just to hate her sister. And she is so, Rachel's opinion of Rebecca is so low that she would have failed to see a glaring, obvious truth because she thinks so little of her sister. And it's wonderful in this book how Rachel, you can kind of see her childhood and where she got to where she was, and she kind of has this ideal of this kind of like perfect mother. And even though Wendy's been great being her mother, she's thrown it all back at her because she has this idealised figurehead of a mother, and when it just doesn't, if I put it a bit down, it's heavy, doesn't add up, doesn't you know, match the, you know, the pedestal where Rachel's birth mother is. It's a very, very interesting love story, because love story between sisters. Now, I read this from a point of experience. I actually have 2 sisters. They're both older than me, Kay and Anna, and there's an age gap between Kay and myself. There's like 9 years, so I can kind of see reading it where you can kind of see the different dynamics, because it's not just an age difference, it's a generation difference too. Rachel has a life you'd think sorted. She has a nice house, she has a nice kids, but she's broken out of her husband. Her husband basically ruined her career, and she's just trying to figure her life out. In contrast, then you've got Rebecca, and Rebecca is also trying to sort out her life. Rebecca's very creative. She's trying to like basically turn her passion into a career. And it's quite funny seeing how these two women have things in common, but due to Rachel being the way she is, they've now had a relationship for almost 30 years. And it's quite nice to see Rachel learn some hubris and some humility, because, and I will give full respect to Lucy Diamond for making you actually care about an unlikable character. So, yeah. Obviously, Rachel's been through the emotional minefield, but because she's spent her entire life pushing people away who do love her, she can't turn to them for help. And it's quite sad, really. Once again, hubris and humility. Two character things that Rachel needed to learn. At the same time, Rebecca needs to kind of learn to self-motivate. She needs to get a career sorted and turn her passion of creativity into a career. And this book is, okay, as I said before, just trying to describe it, there's a lot of characters with R in their names. You've got Rebecca, a Rachel, a Ruth, and a Rita. And all the characters, one thing I love about Lucy Diamond's work is she can turn little minor characters, little characters that you meet briefly at various points in the book, and she can kind of bring those ties in together in a way that you smile, and it's not kind of obvious. It's not like a coincidence, or it's not too forced. She has this real rare gift as an author. The thing I like about all her books, you cannot finish one of Lucy Diamond's books without smiling. That's physically impossible. So this book is well paced, well written, and it's a love story, and there is love coming into it, little kind of themes of love, but it's a story about sisterhood. And that's kind of rare a lot in fiction, the antagonistic relationship between stepsisters. And it is quite funny how when you read this book between these two characters, they have so much in common, but they just don't realise it because of Rachel and her kind of desperation not to accept love. I'm never looking too much into this, but I kind of saw myself more as Becca than Rachel. So, but I really, really enjoyed this book. Rachel has this kind of life where, she lives in that posh kind of middle class house, and she's trying to figure out, launch a new career, and she has beige walls, and she's a little bit boring, but it's kind of like she's kind of pushed herself into this world where she's not truly that comfortable. She can't relate to her children. She doesn't understand her teenage daughter. And it's nice seeing characters kind of brought back down to earth. That's all I want to say. So, well paced, well written. It's some of these minor characters I'd love to meet again. And I love, this is a biased review. I absolutely love Lucy Diamond. And I absolutely love this book. I've never ever hated on a Lucy Diamond book, by the way. They've all been too good. So, I recommend The Secrets of Happiness. No spoilers. But as someone who has sisters, reading about sisters, step or otherwise, you will enjoy this book. I most certainly did. So anyway, YouTube, sign off and take care. Bye now. This is the 365 100 books. Book 6. Bye.